Your baby does not need sleep training, but you do. Let me start with the story, but first, who am I? I'm Valerie. I'm a therapist specialized in birth to six mental health. That's their social, emotional, and behavior well-being. I'm a social worker based in Ontario, and I also specialize in baby, toddler, and child sleep. And sorry, I'm just blinded by all the lights that I have over here. So as a new mom, I was really committed to doing things right and to making sure that I'm doing the best things for my baby. So of course, I took to books, Google, YouTube, you name it. I was like an avid Googler and researcher. I just like wanted to read and watch all of the things to make sure that I'm doing all of the right things to make sure that my baby gets the sleep that he needs, that he's healthy and he's thriving, and that I'm doing what I need to do as a new mom. And I thought that from based on everything that I was reading and hearing, I read that like in order for him to have good healthy sleep, I had to use sleep training methods. He had to learn to sleep independently. He had to sleep a certain like 2-hour naps and 12 hours overnight. That I had to separate breastfeeding with sleep to make sure that he can sleep independently and can link cycles. I later learned that all of this is complete and utter, like just lies, just complete BS. But I didn't know that at the time, and even in the sleep deprivation fog, I questioned my own professional experiences and knowledge. It was wild. But here's what I realized after helping over 1,000 families get sleep without sleep training or cry out of any kind. What I actually needed to happen at that time is I needed information about what is actually normal, because I assumed that things weren't working for me because I wasn't doing them right, instead of realizing that the things I was doing are not the things I needed to do. I was interrupted by a family member. But anyway, based on my experience and also helping thousands of families now, the number one thing that moms tell me they wish they knew is actually what normal sleep looks like. Because when you realize what biologically normal sleep is and what sleep looks like for normal breastfed babies, which is different than formula and bottle feeding babies, you realize that actually not much is wrong at all. But what's wrong is the expectations, the very wild and unrealistic expectations that are actually based on culture and not on anything to do with like a normal human biology and babies. So what I actually needed is to learn what is normal, and more specifically for a breastfed baby, and that information just like was not available out there. It's one of the reasons why I started this account and my work. I also needed certain mindset shift. I was going through this huge change in my life, becoming the person from the person who I was before I had a baby to becoming a mom. There are literal brain changes for parents and for babies as they develop, as we become parents, that were very important, that required this like mindset shifts, this acceptance of certain things that I was losing from my life before, and realization of the things I was gaining. And it was like this, like I was becoming a mom, and in this process I felt like trying to follow all of these like rules and expectations to just get back to how I was before, or for me to be a certain way, or for my baby to sleep a certain way, was just putting so much pressure, when in reality it was just like the information I was getting was just wrong and unrealistic. So having those mindset shifts, realizing what's actually normal, it gave me like a huge boost of confidence to step into who I was meant to be as this baby's mom. So I think it's really important to learn that. So if you're watching this while you're pregnant or expecting, or maybe you're expecting your next one, make sure you learn what is normal, okay? So that you don't feel like a failure every single day. To help you with that, I have a free guide, a free normal baby sleep guide that shows you normal sleep patterns based on biology, based on breastfed babies, so you don't feel like something's wrong with you or your baby. With that said, it was also important for me to know what are signs that maybe things are not normal. What are signs that there are things that I need to shift and change? What is my baby's sleep telling me? Okay? It is also important to know when things are not normal, when you actually need to reach out for help. And I can help with that too, and I go into more of that on my blog, so go read the blog. I'll link some articles that are relevant in the description box. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have thoughts, comments, experiences to share with me, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, found it valuable, hit like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is, wherever you're watching. I wish you sweet cuddles and dreams, and thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.